Okay guys, so in the last class we have seen some of the selectors. Now what are the selectors? Quickly we will revise the things. So first of all we have seen what is selector first. So it has some rules. Okay, so which gives you one selector, then properties and different values, and depending on that we have 6 categories of the selectors. So here first one is we have element selector. I will just zoom it. Element selector means which you are writing the code or the rules for the each and every element, or you can say a tag. So that tag, whenever you are using in the program, so that will be the those changes will be done, those default settings will be overridden with those particular tags. Okay, and it is called also called as universal selector, and it is using the star or asterisk symbol. Is it fine? So second one we have seen the class selector, which uses the dot operator and which is used for writing the classes using dot operator. Give the class name with a dot, and then you can go on specifying what exactly where you want to use it. For example, h1, for the h1 you are using say class is equal to, call that particular class name. Automatically that head section css code will run in that particular class, in that particular section. Okay, this is what the class selector, already we have seen this, so there is no need just to revise. I'm just revising the things. And the third one will be the id selector, so which uses the symbol as hash. Okay, so you are writing the id hash in the head section itself again, and then whenever you want it you just use it in the id is equal to that id name you can specify. Okay, so all in this id selector and this attribute selector and the elements class selector, everything the code goes in the which section, in the head section. Okay, so I will just draw this for the easy understanding purpose. So this is my html file. I will write here one file, that is say uh, head section I will write here. Okay, then head close will be here. Okay, then I'm writing here body. Okay, and within this body I'm here writing this body code. Okay, sorry, this is body is completed. Then in the head section, so here I am writing my css code. Now how to write the css code, you know, within the head section you must use the style tag open, style tag close. Okay, within this you have to write the all that particular code, css code. Is it okay? And then from here we have to include the code from here to the next section. Is it fine guys? So this code within is written within this head section, so I will just make it annotations. Now from here, from this part to this part, sorry, I should not take this, I will take this. From this part to this part, the information will be shared here. Okay, for example, if you have written, now what are the things you can use here? So either if it is an element selector, you can use anything, direct element name h1, then opening and closing, then use here property 1 colon value 1 semicolon property 2 colon value 2. You can go on writing this. Okay, if it is an element selector, then only. Okay, what if it is an id select class selector? So use for the class which operator you are using, dot operator, dot followed by give the class name. So I will use here c underscore name, that is class name, anything I can give, and I can write property 1 value 1 and so on. This is for the class selector. Similarly for the id selector, I must use the hash symbol here, hash symbol, and then I can use here id name, id underscore name I can use here. Is it fine guys? So this is how we are working with these three very important first three. If they give you the question explain all the selectors, so you have to explain, otherwise you explain these three simple selectors by remembering the operators. For the attribute select element selector star, for the class selector dot operator, for the id selector hash operator, and what happens and its syntax you have to explain. So this is all, these are the first three basic selectors. Next one comes your id sorry id select is done. Then we have here one attribute selector, sorry, attribute or property selector, which will be using in the double this one in the square brackets. Okay, so that will be the third one. So I can just draw here the example. So third one, instead of this I am giving the square brackets and there I am writing so ALT. So there you have used title. So here I will use here alt. So alternate text, or I can write any properties here. Okay, what property I can use? href I can use. This is where it is used within the anchor tag. Href will be used. So whenever you are using href, that time what are the changes you want to show, that can be done. Its height, its width. Okay, so everything you can manage here. That is by using this attribute selector. So that will be the fourth one. And the fifth one will be the combination of both, that is pseudo class and pseudo random selector, pseudo element and pseudo class selector, which is almost a mixed one. Okay, actually the mixed one is the last one. There is one more given, sixth one. So these two are different, but they have combined in your syllabus. They have combined both of this pseudo element selector and pseudo class selector. Okay, so this pseudo element is with respect to the elements or tags, and pseudo class means it is respect to the classes which you are going to create. I think you are aware of this, how to create the class and all, guys. Yes. So same thing, you have to create the classes in the CSS also, and just include those classes in the main program or in the body section. Okay. So these are the things we have already seen yesterday. Hover, active. Okay, we have seen this in detail, and with example, working example, we have seen this. So I don't think there is a problem. Then next we have last one, a hybrid, that is contextual selector, sixth type. Okay, so contextual means it is a combination. Okay, means there can be n number of selectors which will be of different types. Okay, for example, one is an id selector and one is of a attribute selector. Okay, so I will just draw here. So this is done. For the next one I will write here. So there can be a possibility that you can have one selector here, say in the body section only, sorry, only in the head section. I can have head open, head close. Then I will write here style tag, style open, style close, style close, style close, sorry. Yes, now I want to write here for one hash, I can say my id. Okay, and for this also I want the same thing, and for your h1 also you want the same thing. Okay, so isn't it a combination of two selectors? So what is hash my id? Which type of selector it is? Can you answer in your mind? Yes, it is a id selector. Yes. And what about this h1? Better I will write here one flower brace and one close flower brace, and within this I will write here font hyphen size is say 50 points. 50 points. Done. So this is my example. Okay, so this is an example. So here I want this h1 also will be of 50 points, and my id, which is a id selector, that should be also in the 50 points. In such case I can use a combination of two selectors, that is called as contextual selector, contextual selectors. Is it fine, guys? So let us see with examples. Now what are the things involved in this contextual selectors? There can be a descendant selectors, means now descendant ascendant, you might be knowing this difference. So here the descendant means whichever is below the tree. For this you need to remember the binary tree or the general tree, whatever we have discussed in the previous classes. Okay, so the uh, node or the attribute whichever is below the level, that is called as descendant. Okay, so in this we have descendant div and p, means within this div tag there is one more tag called p tag, that is paragraph tag. Okay, then there can be a child, subsequent child will be there, that is div, and this angle bracket close and h2. So h2 will be the child of div. Is it okay? Then adjacent siblings, these are the relations you might be knowing within this tree structure: descendant, child, adjacent siblings, general siblings. Okay, so the nodes which are present in the same level, they are called as general siblings. Adjacent siblings means it's beside, just beside this, it has some childs. These adjacent siblings. Okay, you can call, say, kakanchi mula, mamanchi mula, like this. Okay, so with the same age, you can call this general siblings, adjacent siblings, and the child. Child means its subsequent node. Okay, I can just draw here. Okay, delete. Okay, delete. Okay, so I can just draw here one root node, and then there can be one more root, one more root, one more root. Then you have one more root, one more root, and here one more root. Okay, so what will be the labels now? I will just draw for the understanding purpose. I will draw this, and this will be its child, right child. See, you might be knowing when these childs will be created, if the value will be greater than that. Okay, so for example, I will take here the value is 10. Now if I want to insert the value, I can use here 6. Okay, and then here I can enter 7, and here I can enter 11, then 13, and here it can be a 15. Okay, and this can be this I will make it as 8. I will make it as 8, and this will be a 7. So this is a perfect tree I can call. So what are the childs? I can say descendant. So 6, 8, 11 are descendant of 10, or 7 is a descendant of 6, and child also same. Okay, so you can call, see, this 13 or a 15 is a descendant of 11. This is what the descendant. Next, child, within the next level, whatever it is there, it is called child. So 6, 8 and 11 are the childs of 10. 7 is the child of 6. 13 is the child of 11, and 15 is the child of 13. So this is what they done. Next one, adjacent siblings. So adjacent means for this 6, which is the adjacent node, it's 8. Is there any child for this? No. So there is no siblings. Okay. But what about there is no such cases? So you can call 6 for the 6 adjacent. 11 can be also an adjacent. No, this time it is not adjacent. So now what it is? General siblings. So 11 will be the general. So I will just draw one diagram here. So this is general siblings. GS I will call, and this is called as AS, adjacent siblings. Is it fine? So this is what the difference. So these are the relations you can show in this contextual selectors. Okay, so there is an example as given. Just see this body, you have UL and A, both you are using. And what about this A colon link? What type of selector it is? Can you remind in your mind? A colon link, attribute selector. No, A is what? It's a tag, and link is what? It's an attribute. Okay, so this is a attribute selector we have used yesterday. Yes. Sorry, one more thing. It has a pseudo what? Just wait for this. I think it's a pseudo. No, yes, it's a pseudo class selector. No, pseudo element. Sorry, it's pseudo element selector. Extremely sorry for this. Please excuse. It's a pseudo element selector. A and link. This is a pseudo element selector. And what is UL? This is the general. That is element selector. It is. It's an element selector, and it is a pseudo element selector. So two are combined. Yes. So I can call this is a contextual selector. Now come to the next example. I will just zoom it. See, for this main is started with the hash, which is nothing but the ID selector. Time is one of the tag, which is called as a element selector. So combination of element selector as well as a ID selector. Next one, main and time. So this is what one of the ID selector is combined with the child. It's one of the child which has a time is one of the uh, at time is one of the tag you are going to use there. Okay, the next one you have, see, this is a very important example. Main, which is nothing but an ID selector. Div is nothing but an element selector. P first hyphen child, this is what pseudo element selector, pseudo element selector. And these are the three different selectors you are using in the same thing, which color will be green. This is called as contextual selector, guys. Is it okay? Is this fine, guys? You want example, then we can run this example also, no problem. Copy. So I will open this practical examples, but I will create a different file. Control N and then save this. Sudo is done, no? So I will use here contextual selector HTML. I will just make it zoom. Control plus equal to. Yes, the font size is increased. Yes, it's enough. So till body to body, I will copy and paste here the code. This is done. Okay, so I will just save this, and execute. What is that file name? Contextual selector. Open with Google Chrome. So what change has there? Just let me check the code first once again. Okay, nav is there. We have not used this HTML5 code. Okay, ID is there. We have not written this ID main, so we have to copy this ID main. Where is that ID main? Sorry, I will copy here. Copy this and paste in which section? In the head section. I have to paste this. Yes, and before this is CSS, so I have to use here style tag. Okay, style open, then style close it. I will cut this and paste in here. Okay, so I have saved this now. I will just refresh. So changes will apply. Yes, it has become which one? Green color, no? Text has become green color. So because hash main, ID is main though. So wherever there is a main, it is using that. Then div, which is a div and p. This is a combination of two. So wherever there is a div, ID is equal to main. So I have used it here. All the things are in the green. But what about this p? It has been not affected because it has not called that particular ID. That's why it is not there. Then contextual selector first child. So we don't have any first child over there. So it is as it is. So rest of the things will be as it is. Is it okay? So time is the, we have to copy all these things. Okay, we have to copy all these things. The head section I will call here. Save and run. Yes, it has become red now. Yes, so previously it was green, now it is red. Guys, are you getting the concepts? You are getting the concepts or not? How contextual or the combination of selectors will be done? Depending, if you understood the first four, then this is very easy, guys. Okay, that's why I have revised once today. So this is all about the selectors. So let us just describe it once again. what are the selectors are there. So we'll write first one element selector, then next one you have that is class selector. Which symbol is used in the element selector? Star, asterisk, and it is also called as generic or generic selector. Okay, first one. So second one class selector, which symbol is used there? Dot operator is used. Okay. Third one the id selector, which symbol is used there? The hash. Yes, so hash symbol will be used. Sorry, hash symbol is used. So this is first one, this is second one, this is third one, and now we'll go for the fourth one, which is attribute selector. Okay, which uses the square brackets. There you have to specify this one. And fifth one will be what? Sudo. There are two, sudo class and sudo element, where you are using some different there will be again you are using the same square brackets, but some equal to symbol, some not equal to symbol, many operators you are going to use there. Okay, that is the fifth one. And the last sixth one is a contextual. Okay, which is a combination of all, and you can go on using this contextual selectors using different combinations like hash, dot, then some pseudo class, pseudo element. Okay, all that combination you can use there. Understood? So these are the 6 selectors we have discussed in till now in these 2 classes. Okay, so I think this is clear. So we'll move for the next one. Clear these things and we will go for the next one. Next one, the cascade, how styles interact. Very important concept, how the cascading will be done. Okay, so for this there are 3 principles we are going to use. Okay, what are those? Let us see first. Actually the meaning of this cascade is there will be a conflict. Okay, for example, you have written what will be the general, I will write here one of the basic CSS file. There will be, no, I will write here there will be a basic CSS file which uses CSS file. Okay, so which will be used by your all HTML documents. Okay, so here you have HTML document. Okay, so some of the contents are used from here. Now what will be there in this particular CSS file? Okay, so here I will take the example of h1 tag. So in the h1 tag, what will be the default values? So font color is which one? Black. Yes. Font size is what? Font size is say 36 points. Is it okay? And some basic things will be there in this basic CSS file. Now here in this HTML section, what you are going to do? You are using, I will write directly from the body tag. So body, treat that this is your inline. Okay, so inline I am using h1 style equal to I will use here font hyphen size is say 50 points. Okay, 50 points, and then I will write here VSM SRKIT Nippani. I am writing here. Is it okay? Then I will close this h1. Now there is a problem starts with the browser. Okay, which browser you are using? Say you are using this Google browser, Chrome browser. So in this case, so when you process this particular code in the browser, what happens? The browser will get confused that whether you have to use this particular h1 value or this h1 particular value. Okay, see this uh, for syntactically this is correct and this is also correct. So which one it has to understand, that is the problem. This is the concept of this cascade. Okay, understanding? So whenever there is a conflict in between the two files or two styles or two rules, then see, now take the example when we say when the government says there is a lockdown, don't go outside, and when we call to you to college, so what will happen? So both decisions will be correct actually, but which you should listen? Yes, that is the problem, no? So whichever is favorable for you. Now you are a browser, you have to take the decision. Okay, so if the college is important, you will come to college. If life is important, you will stay in the home. This is what the happens with these browsers. Are you getting, guys? This is happening in this particular cascade. Okay, so there are three principles it is following. All the browsers will be following three principles. What are those? One is inheritance, which is your OOPS concept. Second one, specificity, and third one with the location. Fine. So what, let us see one by one. So inheritance. So what exactly the inheritance? You know the universal definition, acquiring the property from base class to the one class to another class, that is called as base class and derived class. Same thing here also. Now if the values which are derived by the derived class by its own, then there will be preference will be given first. Okay, now what is the question here? You have to give the preference, no, whether you have to give the preference to college or to the or the government rules, yes or no. So that decision will be taken by you, which has to be preferred first. If you have exams, you have to come. If there is no exams, you can sit in the home. Yes, so this is the decision you are taking depending on the situation. So similarly here also three situations are there. What are those? The specificity, the inheritance, and the location. These are the three ways or three situations are there. Depending on this, you take the decisions. Okay, now for the inheritance. Now what inheritance says? The base class will be given the first priority than the derived class, as expected. Yes, you will listen to your parents first, then your uncles, grandparents, grandmother, grandfather, and so on. Yes or no? So this is what the inheritance concept. Okay. For example, now say the body is one. Okay, body will be the root. Just we will draw this image. It will be clear. I think this is clear, no? Control A, delete. Okay, so there are some uh, trees are there. So this is one of the tree. Obviously, this will be your HTML tag. This will be your head tag, and this will be your body tag. So within body tag, you have one P tag, that is paragraph tag. Okay, so you have a paragraph tag, and here you have one more H1 tag. Okay, now what inheritance will say, if you are using in the H1, if you are using this in H1, say you have given the body background color. I will just write here. For the body I have given background or BG color, that is no BG color is equal to say yellow. Background color is yellow. Okay, now in the H1 you have given, even for H1 also you can give the BG color, there is no problem. Okay, for H1 also you can give. Here you give BG color equal to say red. Now it has to listen. So obviously the child has to listen to this first, after that it's inheritance. Usually what happens, the upper class will be taken for the priority, but now the BG color will be given by its own color. Okay, means it will listen to it first, then it will go for the listening to the parents one. Are you getting, guys? So this is what happening in this particular inheritance. Only a small concept, but it has a lot of meaning. Okay, so here body will be there. After that div, then there will be a P tag. Yes, P tag is here. Then time tag. Many are there, but it will listen the body. This is what the parent inheritance. Okay, so there is no proper example for this. only the diagram here shown. Yes, you can refer this diagram. Then color inherited. See what are the things inherited and not what not inherited. Body, font family inherited, color inherited, border 8 points, solid green, which is not inherited because this is given in the it is given for the browser, not for all. Okay, then margin is 100 pixels, it has been given. Okay, so this is also not inherited because these are the two settings for the browsers, and these are the settings for the web page. Now you might be getting the difference. What is browser? So Google Chrome is a browser, and web page is what I am going to show. This is called as web page. Is it okay, guys? So this is what the specificity. This is what the inheritance. Okay, so coming to the specificity, so here they have given the example what is inherited, what is not inherited. So in the box model it will be clear, totally clear. Okay, we'll go for the next one. Okay, so the specificity means it's a specific one. Which tag will be used for what changes? That is called as specificity. So here you have this body. This is just like the reverse order. Okay. So before you were listening to you and then for this. Is it okay? So this is what the specificity. Previously, what was the concept? The number one was what? I will use here. This is the number one. I will not use here. So this was given the priority number one, and for this you have given the number two. Is it okay? Where in case of inheritance, but in case of specificity, you have specified this first. Okay, so the number one will come for this, and the number two will be for this. There is no relationship, that is inheritance and all. Nothing will be there. Is it okay? So this is what the specific. You specify wherever it is, that will be applied. It is just like the constant. If once you set the value with constant, it is final for all. Yes, so this is what the specificity. Let us see next one. This is the specificity. Let us see what exactly it is. You have very last class is what? One of the id, and then there will be a class called last. Yes, class is there, last is there, but which will come first? Which has accessed first? Yes, so class last there, and after that id, the value has been it is refurnished. So I will copy and paste this code. Body to body, I will copy and I will paste here. Body to body, paste done. Then I have to remove this style and I have to copy that style. What style it is? Body. So this I can copy here, copy, and I can paste here. Save this and run this. Yes, so thanks for posting. What exactly? It has been overwritten the values, no? Thanks for posting. So what will be the? It is more bigger, no? Because it has the highest value, 16 points. Very last we will be having the 16 for specificity. You have specifically set it, and its color is orange. Yes, check. Yes, it is orange. Yes, fine. So for this, anything other left? Body, for the body, what will be the color for the body which you have written at the first? Body font weight is bold, color is red. Is there everything red? No, it was first. It was first, but you have overwritten the values because of the specificity. You have specifically initialized. It is similar to your normal CSS. Okay, because example, you have set the font size is 36 H1. For H1 you have set the font size is 36, and in the program you are making it as a 50. So that is what the specificity. You have specifically specified it. Yes, that is what the specificity. And the last one is you have the location. I think yes, location. Okay, location means it is also same as a specificity, but the locations will be overridden. Okay, now what is that? So let us see. Let's delete this all, and we have again we will draw the two files. One is the HTML file, one is the CSS file. This is your CSS file. Okay, so in CSS I can write the file name as, I will write here a.html. This is my file, and this is my a.css file. Okay, now what are the concepts we have already studied regarding this levels of style sheets? It's inline, internal and external. Okay, so I have written some code in the external file. Okay, for example, some code I will write here, some CSS code. Okay, this code will be applicable for say h1. Okay, for h1 you have written something. Then in this case, if you are overwriting that code, okay, h1 code overwritten, okay, h1 code will be overwritten here. But now in which section this h1 code will be overwritten? Either in this head section or in the body section. That is very important. Okay, if it is an head section, so this uh, external level can be skipped and head section code will be written. Okay, for example, I will draw one figure for this also. I will use here brush. So here external, then you have internal, and then you have here inline. Inline is there. Okay, if the code is written in external and you are writing in this head section as an internal or embedded, then this will be overwritten. This code will be cancelled and this will be overwritten. Now if external is written and internal you are overwriting, then this code will be executed, this will not be executed. This is when external. So there is a third preference for the external level style sheets. Understood? Third step, third preference for the external style sheets, whereas second for this internal and first for this inline level CSS. Is this fine, guys? So this is how it is working. Location. Okay, so location is also same as your specificity, but the thing is where exactly your CSS is present. If it is present in the inline, give the important preference for that. If it is written in the head section, give more importance than the external, and if it is given in the external level, then give the least priority for the external CSS. That is what the example. Okay, so you can just see this example. So overrides here, then this will be override. What is this? Check. What is this? Div style is equal to color. So this is the inline. Yes. What about this? This is the internal level which is written in the head section. What about this dot example and all? This is what written in the CSS file. So this will be given more preference. This is called as locations. Okay, so there are three important principles which you have to use for the cascading. What are those? One is, first one, inheritance. Follow the child parent relationship, give the more priority to the child, after that parent. Second one is your location will be the third. Second one is what? Sorry, I forgot. Specificity. So specify the things. This is exactly reverse of your first one. And the third one will be the locations, which is give the labels. Embedded, give the first priority for the inline, second preference for the internal or embedded, third preference for the external label. Okay, so this is all about the three concepts. So we'll see tomorrow the next concept. The box model, very important. So tomorrow, first hour I will be taking this box model. Is it fine, guys? Is it understanding or not? Understanding or not? Getting or not? At least open the chat box and type there. Are you there or not, guys? Okay, okay, somewhat you are getting. Fine, fine. So if you have any doubts, please ask me, okay? Not here, at least after the class you can ask. I will explain once again. Hmm? And thank you for this kind of response. Getting somewhat means there are some doubts. I will be clearing those, okay, in the next class. Okay, fine, fine, fine. ठीक है. Okay, we'll meet you in next class. Bye. Take care. Okay.